What's up, guys? WWE Fan Talk here, bringing you guys another live stream. Haven't done a live stream in a while. Figured I'd do one again. Somebody says, "Are you not watching Raw?" Well, currently, no, I'm not watching Raw because in California we get a different time compared to the current time. So basically, Raw starts at 8 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. So, yeah. So this is a Q&A, so ask all those questions out there. Anything you want to know. I didn't do any predictions for Backlash. I just didn't find the time to do it, and I didn't do any live streams for Backlash, which I watched some of Backlash. Yeah, I didn't watch the entire show. I didn't watch the Apollo Crews match and the Women's Tag Team Championship match, but I did catch the Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Edge match, and then I think I caught one more other match. But I think something that I want to talk about on here is the greatest match, or the whatever they're calling it, Edge versus Randy Orton. There's a lot of people that like the match, and there's a lot of people that trashed on the match. Obviously, it's not the greatest match ever, but it's still, I think, it was a really well match. It was a well-planned match. And there was a lot of cool moments in there. And I think that match is like the epitome of why I started watching wrestling, is just the creativity and just like the fun in wrestling. I mean, we got so many different finishers. We got an awesome storyline. We got two of my childhood favorite wrestlers going at it and just beating the crap out of each other for 30 minutes, and it was excellent. It was great. Tanner, will Edge retire? I don't think he'll retire. I don't think his injury is as serious or as bad as people may think. Can I see your Red Universal Championship? That is currently inside, but I do have the Blue Universal Championship here, which I will show eventually. My mom just commented, Tanner is awesome. But I did think that Edge vs. Randy Orton was really good. I think it lived up to its name. I don't think it's the greatest ever, but I think that that's an aspect I really enjoyed, is seeing all those finishers hit. Just showed that neither one of those guys wanted to quit. Didn't want to lose. Are you happy or mad Otis didn't cash in? I think something should have happened. I think Otis either should have teased it or he should have cashed in. Because, I don't know, I don't really want Otis to be Universal Champion. I don't know. I think if anybody beats Braun Strowman, it should either be Roman Reigns or The Fiend. So, yeah. Tanner, you should do WWE Trivia tonight. It would be really fun. Well, where do I do WWE Trivia at? What do you think of WWE Elite's Elite SummerSlam 70 Elite Series 77 SummerSlam series? I thought it was one of the best series. Bread Alive's up in here. What's up, Bread Alive? What are your thoughts on the Fiend figure? I think the Fiend figure is currently my favorite WWE figure that's ever been released. Hands down. I know that there's going to be better figures out there, but the anticipation for that figure it was just like, it was insane. Saw it at Ringside Fest, but it was like just the printout, like in all gray, just the plastic color. It wasn't even the figure. And it was just like amazing that we were even getting the Fiend figure. And then getting it in hand, it was just like, it blew me away. There was nothing about it I was disappointed about. The only thing that I could say is that the hair could be lighter, but I think it's growing on me, and I don't really care. I think because most of the time, we see the Fiend in the red light matches, so you can't even really tell what his hair color is. But now, of course, we don't get the red light matches. And then I did do a modification with the boots, because I don't think he wears the laced boot. I think he does wear the laced boots, but he wears covers over them now. So I switched them out with the Target exclusive NXT Roman Reigns boots that have red on the toe area, which is pretty similar to the Fiend figure, but it doesn't have the laces, so I thought that looked better than the laces, so I just did that. But the Fiend figure, honestly, is my favorite figure Mattel's ever released WWE-wise. You should take the Fiend mask off while talking to the camera. I don't have my Fiend mask right now. It's upstairs. The reason for making on YouTube. The reason why I started YouTube is because obviously I watched YouTube before I started YouTube. I was watching YouTube, and I just wanted to test it out and see how it would do and if I would get any subscribers, and it happened. So I just continued to do it. Do you have all the Elite action figures? All the Elite action figures. I have a lot of Elite action figures. Who do you think will be Drew McIntyre's next opponent? That's a good question. That's also something. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Something I wanted to talk about is Drew McIntyre's next opponent. I think it's cool that they had Lashley, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Lashley. I think it's cool that they made him like an actual threat to McIntyre. And the way McIntyre won yesterday was like, but you can't always win clean. But I think it's great that he pinned him, one Claymore kick. But I think McIntyre's next opponent should be his last opponent. And I think that sounds crazy, but that'll be like 3 great feuds that he was in. Seth Rollins was great. Lashley I thought was decent. I think Randy Orton should be McIntyre's next opponent. And I think that Randy Orton, he's been stated as the top guy on Monday Night Raw, which, based off of their match yesterday with Edge, I think he should be #1 contender for the WWE Championship. I mean, he beat Edge in an amazing match in the main event. And I think he should challenge McIntyre. That's definitely something I want to see, because we saw that earlier this year with McIntyre and Orton doing the chops and their matches. And I think that they're pretty big guys, and I think that would be awesome to see their feud continue, because we never really got to see the blow off to their feud, because they were going to do something at the Rumble and it never happened. So yeah, that's something I would like to see. And then after that, I would say Orton beats McIntyre, maybe from a gong from The Undertaker or something like that, because I want to see McIntyre versus Undertaker at SummerSlam, if he's not WWE champion by then. But maybe have Orton win with the punt or something. Maybe have Orton defend the title against Christian or someone like that. I don't think there's a pay-per-view between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam, so maybe have Orton win the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. Edge returns, challenges him for the title, and then main event of SummerSlam is the blow-off match between Randy Orton and Edge for the title. I think that would be great. Have Edge become WWE Champion one last time. Maybe do 1 or 2 matches as champ, and then lose it. But that's something I really want to see. I want to see Edge win the title again. I don't think that sounds crazy at all, because Edge is back, and I heard he signed a pretty long contract. I think it's like 6 matches a year or something, and he's only done is it 3rd match? So I don't know. I think that would be great, and I think he should. That should definitely be the blow off. I mean, I know they're gonna do a blow off between Randy Orton and Edge, because there's no way that they're gonna end it right there. So I'm not quite sure. You going to Disneyland when it reopens next month? No, probably. I mean, I'm not going to spend $1,000 for a pass. As much as I like Disneyland, I don't think that $1,000 is worth it. Just ask us WWE questions, and whoever gets the most questions at the end of the night wins. Asking you guys questions? Max Rivera, can you please get the NXT tag titles next? That's definitely possible. Thank you very much for the donation. But yeah, Max Rivera, that's definitely one of the titles on my list that I really want to get, is the NXT tag titles. The only thing that sucks is, like, I'm this close to finishing my my NXT belt collection. I don't know if I'll get the women's championship, just because, like, it's so small, and I feel like I already have the NXT championship. That's pretty much just like the women's NXT championship, so I don't really know about that. And plus, I heard that they're redesigning the NXT title, so I don't really know where I stand right there. I don't know if they're going to redesign all the titles, so I don't really want to jump and just spend that money for a tag title just for it to be redesigned. So I'm not quite sure. Jose Ibarra, if you want to know how much it is to get your belt restoned, definitely hit up to the Extreme Belts and ask them that. Private message them, and I would, the heck, freaking bug just crawled at me. And definitely hit them up and ask that question, and they'll give you a full rundown. And when you do, make sure to tell them that WWE Fan Talk Show sent you. That would be awesome. What title do you want to see changed next out of all title in WWE? I'm assuming you mean redesign, I'm assuming. I would like to see... I don't want the Universal title to change just because I've gotten all these modifications on my Universal title or World Heavyweight title, whatever you want to call it. And I just don't want them to like change that right now. If anything, change the WWE Championship. But I really, really honestly like the title design right now. And I don't want it to change because I think it's iconic and it just looks really cool. What's your opinion on Dean Ambrose? I think he's great. I mean, obviously he's out of WWE and he's Jon Moxley right now. He's my favorite in AEW right now, so yeah. Top 3 commemorative belts. Top 3 commemorative belts. I really like the tag team title commemorative belts, the silver plates. They're on SmackDown. I don't know which one. I really like the color of the SmackDown with the blue. Or, yeah, the SmackDown tag team titles are like, I prefer those over the Raw tag team titles. So I guess SmackDown tag team title commemorative, WWE Championship commemorative, and World Heavyweight Championship commemorative. Those are my top 3 commemorative belts. Have you gotten back to training yet? No, I have not. I have no idea when that's starting back up. Yeah, eventually. Who is your favorite WWE wrestler? My favorite WWE wrestler is Daniel Bryan. Always has been, always will be. Actually, he hasn't always been my favorite. I'd say my first... The guy who got me into wrestling was probably Randy Orton. Then I was on the CM Punk train for like 2 years. And then once Daniel Bryan made it pretty big, I've been a fan of him ever since. I also like Roman Reigns a lot. I know not a lot of people like Roman. I just like his character, his moveset, his gimmick. It's all freaking cool. Where's your brother? He's currently working right now. Are you going to get the money championship? I'm assuming you mean the $1 million championship. Eventually. Who do you think the hacker is? I think the hacker is Mustafa Ali. And if it's not, then I have no clue. I don't think it's Shorty G. What the heck that is? I don't think it's Shorty G because he's wrestled since then. Who should get the Women's Tag Team Championship next? Oh, you should get the Women's Tag Team Championship next. It's possible. I think it's so overpriced, though. Especially for the title design. I mean, I would be cool to have the Women's Tag Team titles in my collection because I have a lot of the Tag Team Championships in my collection. But I think that $430 is way overpriced, especially for one of them. Like, if it came in 2, like a batch of 2, and it was $430, okay. But I think it should be around, like, $230 tops. But, yeah. Especially, like, the strap. Because, like, I've experienced what it's like now to have a real leather strap, or just floppy leather. In WWE Shop, they're working on it well with the flexible leather and stuff, but I think there's much more room. There's room for improvement, and I know they're trying to make titles in mass quantities, so it's not cheap to have real leather. So, yeah. What is your favorite figure? The Fiend. Match of the year for you? Currently, the match of this year, I really liked Edge versus Randy Orton. Last year's match, I gotta say, if I were to say last year's, because this series so far is probably Edge versus Orton. Maybe Gargano versus Adam Cole. That's always going to be in my head when I think of one of the greatest matches I've seen. The NXT New York it was. Thoughts on Christian returning? I think that's very interesting. If you guys are watching Monday Night Raw right now, you can spill the beans if you want in the comments, because I already see all the spoilers on like Instagram and all that before I get to actually watch it live, so go ahead. Do you miss the Beast, Brock Lesnar? I like Brock Lesnar, don't get me wrong. I just don't like when he's champion for like 6 months. If he's champion for like a month or 2, I'm fine. But I hate that. And that's something I can actually see them doing, is him winning it back. Well, we might get Orton versus Christian tonight. I heard about that. I think that would be great. I think they should save that. Like, if they don't do McIntyre versus Orton at Extreme Rules, I think it should be Orton versus Edge in a unsanctioned match at Extreme Rules, or an Extreme Rules match. That would be great. New post in Ringside Collectibles. I haven't got. I just did a review on my newest Ringside Collectibles package, Elite 77. Great series. Use discount code Tanner to save 10% at Ringside Collectibles. Who should beat Braun? Probably The Fiend. Double or Nothing or Backlash. They were both great. I don't know. I don't really want to compare the two because they're both really different styles of wrestling. You know that Seth Rollins is going to have a rivalry with Andrade. I didn't hear about that. I can see that happening, though. Haven't seen Tanner Black in forever. Where the heck is this dude at? Tanner Black is chilling in his mom's house, eating filet mignon, green beans, and sipping on an Arnold Palmer, which is, if you don't know what an Arnold Palmer is, it's iced tea mixed with lemonade. That's his favorite drink. But yeah, that's what Tanner Black's doing. Staying healthy, staying safe. What is your favorite title? I keep getting that question. My favorite title right now, my all-time favorite title will always be the spinner title. Nothing's going to take that place just because that's the title that was the championship when I started watching wrestling. I'm really enjoying my brand new Universal Championship, which is right here. I just got it restoned by To The Extreme Belts, a.k.a. Tim Vick. Yeah, just very nicely restoned. Front-mounted side plates. I got the leather strap done by Man in the Fog Leather. And now I just got to get a bar right here that says Universal Champion. That'll eventually happen. Why aren't you watching Raw? I'm not watching Raw right now because I live in California, so Raw starts at 8 o'clock, not at 5 o'clock. So it's really weird how that works. I know some people who have it differently in California. I don't know. That's just the way it airs on my TV. Looks so much better than the actual title. Yeah, that's what I think. I think the lighter blue strap looks a lot better than the darker one that Braun has. Because, I don't know if it's the lighting in the Performance Center, but to me, the title, I can't even tell that it's blue anymore on TV. The title, looks so dark. But I like the lighter blue color. And I think the stones look great. The Roman side plates. But yeah, this title, very nice. One of my favorites. Put a lot of work into this thing, too. Usually I just get the replicas and that's it. I don't usually do modifications. But this one has been a freaking project. It's not even done yet. There's still one or two more things I want to do to it. I should get the spinner re-leathered. That's a good idea. That's something I want to get because the spinner title kind of has a thick strap, so it's not that flexible. So that's something. Maybe I get the spinner restoned as well. I don't know. That's something. What are your thoughts on Drew McIntyre? I love Drew McIntyre. He's probably currently, since Roman Reigns isn't wrestling right now, Daniel Bryan, I mean, he's always going to be my favorite. But other than those two guys, McIntyre's really good as well. I'm really enjoying McIntyre. He's a dominant champ. Good championship reign. I mean, think about it. He's done so much. If he lost the title in a month at Extreme Rules, I'd be satisfied. He's had a long title reign. He fought Andrade a few times. It's pretty entertaining. He's constantly on Raw every single week. He's doing something on Raw. Fought Seth Rollins, great feud. Fought Lashley, pretty decent feud. I'm not going to trash it. I think it was actually pretty good. So, yeah, I think, McIntyre's pretty good. I wonder what they're going to do now with Daniel Bryan since he didn't win the IC title. I think they're going to continue the feud with Bryan and AJ. I think that's something they're going to do. I think the title may flip-flop between the two guys, which I don't mind. I think that's actually interesting. Make the title relevant. I mean, think about it. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan are two main eventer guys. They're the guys that fight for the world title. And for them to be feuding for a few pay-per-views for the title, I think that's great. Maybe have Bryan beat AJ in a few weeks for the title. AJ doesn't even really get to defend the title. And then he's pissed. and then Bryan goes on and they have their blow-off feud or something at SummerSlam for the title. And then maybe that's when AJ wins. It turns into a babyface. I don't know. Something like that. Who do you think will answer Cody Rhodes' TNT Championship Open Challenge this week? That's something I don't like. Cody Rhodes just accepted freaking, what's his name? Jake Hager, I think that's his name. He just accepted Jake Hager's challenge for the TV title at Fyter Fest. But now it's like, it's kind of spoiled now. I hate when they do that with title matches. It's like, I'm going to fight, I accept your challenge in a month, but I'm going to defend the title every week. It's like, dude, that we all know that the champion that accepts the challenge a month from now is not going to lose the title on Dynamite. Like, come on. And I'm not the biggest fan of the opponents they're choosing. I mean, I guess they're giving them people chances, but at the same time, I'd like to see, like, Kenny Omega answer the freaking thing. And that's something I think AEW is kind of failing on. And I know they're trying to build up their guys, but at the same time, I want to see guys like Kenny Omega on TV. I don't want to see him in the tag division. I think he's great in the tag division. I want to see him fighting for the world title. I want to see Kenny Omega the face of AEW. You know, like they build him up, so make him that guy. I don't want to see Darby Allin constantly using a skateboard and beating the crap out of MJF. I mean, that gets boring after a while. I want to see freaking Kenny Omega throw some V triggers, throw them knee strikes, boots, and all that stuff. If you don't know what the V trigger is, that's when he throws his knee into the guy's face. It's one of his famous moves. Jon Moxley or Brian Cage at Fyter Fest? I'm going to go Jon Moxley. I heard rumors about MJF beating Moxley. I don't think it's I think if MJF were to win the Casino Battle Royal last year and he became world champion, that would be something. But right now, I'm not really feeling MJF as much as I did before. Big Show return to Monday Night Raw. The Revival will be the ones to beat Omega and Hangman. I think that, yeah, they should be the ones. I think that either the Young Bucks or them. And I'm surprised the Young Bucks haven't won the belts yet. I mean, come on, guys. I know you're like part owner or whatever. You're in charge of the company. But at the same time, it's like we want to see the top tag team, supposed top tag team, be the top tag team by holding those titles. You can't tell me that Hangman and Kenny Omega are the best tag team in the world. Like, you can't say that they're not if they're the tag team champions. If you're champions, you're the tag team champions, it means you're, like, the best. So, wait until you see the Ninja Dude on Raw. He's huge. Oh, yeah, I'm very interested in seeing that. It's pretty interesting. You should get the Intercontinental Championship from 2003. Yeah, I would like to. Tanner Black should accept the Open Challenge. Yeah, right. That would be cool. I saw Chris Jericho on Saturday. Oh my god. Where'd you see him at? If you could be any champion in the world, who would it be? I would be WWE Champion. That's just like the most prestigious prize in all of wrestling, in my opinion. And no, the AEW Championship, it's not really that prestigious. I mean, I think it's prestigious, but it's just like there's only been 2 champions. You know what I mean? Like once we get like 10 champions and it's like been defended and like it's kind of roughed up and you can tell it's like been through some stuff and like there's been through multiple champions and it's like once the title has a little bit of rough like you know that roughed up kind of look, that's prestige to me. Like you know it's been through all these matches, all these defenses, all these wrestlers have been champions, you know what I mean? That's prestige. That's what the WWE Championship has. So that's something I liked about the Big Gold. The Big Gold didn't change titles. Like they never really like revamped it until like later in like WCW. But that title was like beat the heck up, and I think that's like totally prestige. That's the title I got to hold last year at the Double or Nothing what the heck was it? The convention thing in Vegas. Do you think the Undisputed Era will debut to Smackdown and revive? You think Undisputed Era will debut to Smackdown and revival with a returning Nexus? I don't know. I mean, that's something with the Undisputed Era. Like, they've done everything, you know, and all I can picture now is that they either go debut on the main roster, or they separate, or they win different titles. Like, have Kyle O'Reilly be North American champion, or have Roderick Strong be NXT champion, or something like that. Have Adam Cole be tag team champion. I don't know. There's nothing you can really do with that, especially as a team. So maybe they debut. I don't really think they should break up, just because I think they're a huge thing on NXT, and it would suck for NXT if they broke up. Can you imagine NXT right now without the guys they have? Like, Johnny Gargano leaves, Ciampa leaves, Undisputed Era leaves, all members leave. Like, then NXT would be like, whoa, what? Keith Lee leaves. That would suck. Tana Black should be in the indie wrestling game Vertical Basement. That would be dope. When will you get the join feature in your channel? And when is the next live stream so that I can do a super chat? Because today I have no money. Small Husefa. You don't have to super chat. I don't expect that. So don't worry about that. And then the join feature, I'm going to have to look into that. But yeah, you're not required to do the super chat thing at all. That's just an option. If you're 18 and up, go ahead. But if you're under 18... Because I've had some experiences where kids accidentally send me, you know, a big amount of money on the super chat, and I don't require it because you're a kid, and that's, you know, and then their parents send me a message and they're like, oh, we want the money back, but there's no way of refunding. So yeah, so if you're over 18, go ahead. If you're under 18, no, not at all. Also, technically, this live stream is PG-13 due to the YouTube laws and all that kind of stuff right now. So, PG-13, strict. That's what it is right now. So if you're under that age, don't put a comment in there saying that you're whatever age. You know what I'm saying? Any thoughts on United States Champion? The United States Championship, I like the title design, and I like the American flag on there. But I think it needs a title redesign. And I don't think, like, they should make it, like, bland and boring. I think they should have it something kind of like this. Not this, just, like, something similar with the American flag in the background. That would be excellent. Heck yeah. Guys, make sure to go message Tim Vic to the Extreme Belts if you want your belts restoned. Make that spinner title blinged out. Yep. Guys, that would be cool. If you really want to see that, leave in the comments. If you want to see the spinner title glow with all the shiny gems and all that good stuff, just like this one, leave it in the comments down below. Restone, spinner title, that would be freaking dope. I mean, because look, the spinner already has so many jewels on it. Imagine if it was restoned. That would be wicked. It would be excellent. My favorite side plates, I really like the Brock Lesnar side plates. Just because they're red and they have his logo, they just look so cool. AJ ones are also awesome because they're blue. The Roman ones, because, you know, Roman's he's my dude. But yeah, guys, I did just do a video on this Universal Championship. It is fully restoned. and I did a full in-depth video on it. I did get it restoned through To The Extreme belts. So that is my most recent video. And I have the links to The Extreme belts, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their email in the description on that video. So make sure to go check that out after this one to get your belts restoned. Do you hate or love Seth Rollins? I think Seth Rollins is great. Seth Rollins does have good side plates. And will you do because you are the best and my favorite wrestler, but when is the next live stream? Do it every week. Heck, maybe I'll do a live stream tomorrow. I'll do a live stream tomorrow. How about that? Either tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll do a live stream. Leave it in the comment down below. Any ideas that you want the live streams to be about? I mean, I'm assuming, like, these Q&As kind of get boring after a while just because it's, like, questions. If you want me to talk about a specific topic, spam the chat that topic, and I will make the video entirely about that topic. Like, a big topic that people, like, really want to, you know, they want to hear about. You know what I mean? Showing titles, that would be cool. Your cats, yeah, that's always a must. Showing titles. Talk about WCW. That's something I could talk about. Karrion Kross. Early predictions about Extreme Rules. Okay, that could be a good topic. So I might do that and mixture all the other topics you guys were just talking about. But Karrion Kross, mixed feelings about that guy. I mean, I feel like they could do so much more with him. I feel like it's not rushed, but I feel like he's gonna be like one of those guys forced down fans' throats, kind of like people think about Roman Reigns or John Cena or you know what I mean. I feel like they're pushing it a little too hard. Like, he's already challenging for the NXT Championship. I don't think he should yet because we're not too familiar with him. I don't really care for his moveset. I think he's dominant and everything. He's not like he's super jacked. I think there's something they could do, maybe like a little bit of face paint or make him look darker or something, because he looks like a normal guy just with tattoos with a cool entrance. But if they spruced it up a little bit more, it's just missing a little bit of something. I think that the Scarlet chick that's with him looks all evil and everything. She's always dressed up in like the evil outfits and has like the it's like the lantern, I freaking forget what it's called, with the sand, the timer thing. But yeah, her gimmick's cool with Karrion Kross, but I think that they need to do something like that with Karrion Kross. Make him fit that, you know what I mean? I feel like he looks a little too generic, and I don't really care for his moveset. He has that really cool finisher where he takes the guy and he suplexes him to the side. I think that's like devastating enough to be a finisher. But he does it like twice and then puts him in a chokehold. And I hate the chokeholds, guys. Like, unless you're like Samoa Joe and you're familiar, like the Kokita Clutch, that thing's dope. That looks like it actually put you to sleep. And not just saying that Karrion Kross's finisher won't, but I think that Karrion Kross needs like a finisher where he pins the guy. You know, I don't really see him as like a submission dude. Maybe he just needs to grow on me. I don't really know. But I'm not putting him down in any way. I just think that we need more time before he becomes champion. Especially if he's undefeated. I don't want to see him, you know, if I'm not familiar with him, be champion for all this time. But I think we need more promos. We need more character work. We need something dark. I mean, he seems like a very demonic character. So adding some of a little bit like a darker, I don't know, do like a cool promo with like the fog and like the red. Maybe it's not a cemetery, but something dark like that. Like some inspiration from like the 90s, like what the heck was Papa Shango? That was his name, right? Thoughts on the Velcro on the WWE Championships? I think it's a good idea. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's clever. Not clever. I think it's good because, like, you know, like, when the guy wins the belt, you kind of want to wear it around your waist and, like, you have to, like, turn the belt around and put the snaps on and then turn it back around. Where if you win the title, you just put it around your waist, Velcro, done. And that's good. I mean, I don't really want to display my titles with that, but if they want to do that for TV, then that's fine. I mean, I prefer the snaps just because, like, you know, that's just the OG way to do things. Do you like SmackDown, Raw, or NXT? I'm so high on SmackDown right now. I'm really enjoying SmackDown. I really like the Braun Strowman being Universal Champion. It's just he seems like he's like the most experienced guy. I know there's like AJ Styles and all that, but he seems like he's like the leader dude, you know what I mean? And I think that he's doing a good job as Universal Champion. He's a very likable character. I like what they're doing with AJ and Daniel Bryan. That's very they're making the titles prestigious again. I like that feud. I like the idea of Daniel Bryan feuding with AJ again. That's one of those feuds I couldn't get. It won't get old. You know what I mean? And then I like the tag titles. That's okay. That's another thing. That's something I don't like about SmackDown is the tag team division. The New Day, I'm really getting sick of the New Day. I'm a huge fan of the New Day. But ever since Xavier Woods got injured and he's been gone, it's just the New Day's been kind of boring. I don't know if Xavier Woods adds this spice to them or something with his promos. I don't really know. I don't really care for just it only being Kofi and Big E. We need Xavier. And I definitely think they should have done the Forgotten Sons as tag team champions. That was a lost opportunity, a missed opportunity. And now, we're going to have Cesaro and Shinsuke challenge for the titles next. Nobody wants to see that. Oh, something I didn't want to talk about. Matt Riddle debuting on SmackDown this week. If they don't do AJ and Bryan, what they should do is Riddle and AJ. And if they do Riddle and AJ, I think Riddle needs to win. Because if you have Riddle lose on his first feud on SmackDown, people aren't going to take him serious. People aren't going to like him, and then he's going to be another Bobby Roode. So they need to take that guy serious. They need to make him dominant. Heck, if I was them, I would push Riddle to the Universal title scene like that. Debuts, Universal title scene. Main event of SummerSlam. I don't know, something like that. But if they want to keep Riddle serious, they want him to be a big character, which they totally could. He could totally easily be like the John Cena of SmackDown. He's a very likable character. He's the king of bros. And he's a great wrestler. He's silly, and I think he could connect well with the kids because he's silly. Bro, you know what I mean? He's always super chill, and he's a surfer guy, and that could totally connect with the younger audience in WWE. And they could totally do that, compare him to Roman Reigns or John Cena, but push him to the title scene instantly when he gets to SmackDown. Make him have a freaking 5-star match. I don't know, but that's what they need to do in order to make Riddle succeed, or else he's going to be a lost cause, which would suck because we've seen that so many times. Do you think the new Intercontinental Championship should have kept the original white strap and blue color plates that have always been distinguishing it? That's what I thought at first, but now that I have the title in my hands, not right now, but it's in my collection, I got an up-close look at it, and I really do like the new Intercontinental title design. I mean, I get why people wouldn't like it because, we've had that title design, the OG one, for so long with the white strap that they got rid of it like that. It was pretty, fast when they got rid of it, you know what I mean, and they replaced it. But I think that seeing AJ and Bryan feud for that title, we also haven't seen the title on TV for a long time. Just because it's been off and on between Braun and then Sami Zayn, and then the quarantine thing happened, and all that stuff happened. So I think seeing AJ hold the title will make people like the title more. But yeah. Christian versus Orton tonight. Who do you think will come out on top? Orton, of course. There's no way Christian's going to win. If they do, maybe Edge comes out, costs Orton the match, but I don't see that happening. I think they're pushing Orton so hard right now. And, Orton's not one of those guys that's he's 40 years old. He's almost done with his career. No, he still looks like he's in his mid-30s. Still moves like he's in his mid-30s. Still is the same Randy Orton. And I think this is one of the best Randy Ortons he's been, He's great. He's absolutely great. Him and McIntyre are the two top guys on Raw right now, as well as Edge. But I think that they should, incorporate Randy more into, like, I think McIntyre and Orton. That's what I was talking about earlier. McIntyre and Orton, it's definitely something I've been wanting to see. As soon as McIntyre won that belt, I thought Orton, McIntyre. And then as soon as Edge started feuding with Orton, I'm like, okay, well, Edge won this first match, which means if they're going to have another match, then that means Orton wins. And Orton can't end the feud on top, so they got to have a blow-off feud, which is the third match, which Edge would win. But the third match has got to be something big, and I think the WWE Championship. Yeah. Shout out Isaiah Sadler. Favorite WWE era? I mean, everybody's going to say the Attitude Era. To be honest, I really liked the CM Punk era. I mean, I don't really want to call it the PG era because, like, people frown upon PG era, but I really did enjoy it. I liked that era a lot because I was a kid around that time, and that's what I got to experience for the first time. So it's still there's some nostalgia right there. So I like that era a lot. I heard Edge is injured. Yeah, supposedly he suffered a torn tricep, but supposedly he already did the surgery and he's recovering at home. So yeah, something like that. But I don't think he's out. I don't think he's going to be out for a long time. So I don't know. I don't think it's done. It could just be storyline. Who knows? Small Hazefa. I think I'm saying that right. There's your shout out. Small Hazefa. Get Braun Strowman side plates. It's possible. Who's my favorite Universal Champion? Favorite Universal Champion. Either Seth Rollins or The Fiend. Those guys had really good reigns, in my opinion. Long reigns. Dominant. Bray Wyatt is going to return on Friday, hopefully. Who's your favorite WWE champion? Favorite WWE champion? Whew. There's so many. I don't even know if I can answer that right now. There's so many WWE champions. I really like some of the guys that I think of when I think WWE champion. Of course, if you're not including WWF, I think of Randy Orton. I think of John Cena, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. I think Bryan had a really good run as a WWE champion as a heel. Thoughts on AEW figures? I hope they're good. I hope they're not garbage. I really hope. I mean, they look good. One thing I'm not a fan of is that new Brandy figure. I really hope that they fix that because like the women's figures in WWE needed some time to be fixed, and now they're just coming out and being. You got the double jointed knees, and you're getting all these newer features that we've been wanting for the WWE women's figures. And I know that we get that on the AEW women's figures, but there's something odd about the sculpt on the Brandy figure. It just doesn't look right. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm probably going to end it at 45 minutes. So, yeah, because that's just a while now. But, yeah, I will be live again probably either tomorrow or Wednesday. So, turn on your post notifications right now. Make sure to share this video. And when you're done, make sure to go check out my most recent video with the Restone job by To The Extreme Belts. Definitely recommend hitting them up on Instagram, Facebook, or emailing them. But make sure to go check out that video in the their info's in the description of that video. So if you want to hit them up, there you go. But that is it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your questions. Make sure to go to Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Tanner to save 10% at checkout. Thanks for watching, guys. WWE Fan Talk Show out.